Welcome. So, have you ever been in a basement or maybe an equipment room and seen an air conditioning duct that's, well, it looks like it's sweating? It's just dripping water? Your first thought might be that it has a leak, but the real reason is actually way more interesting. Let's get into it and uncover the science behind these sweating pipes. So, here it is, the big mystery we're going to solve today. You see that big metal duct? It's full of cold air from the AC, and it's just covered in water droplets. It might even be dripping all over the floor. It's a super common thing to see, but what's really going on? I mean, where is all that water even coming from? Okay, so let's paint a picture here, because the location is everything. Imagine that cold air duct just doing its job, pushing chilly air through your house. But, and this is the key, it's not running through your nice, comfy living room. Nope. It's passing through a space that isn't air conditioned at all. We're talking about a warm, kind of humid attic, or a storage closet, maybe an equipment room. That contrast, that's where the magic happens. Now, your first gut reaction might be to grab the phone and call a plumber, right? Thinking the duct sprung a leak. But hold on. In almost every case, that water isn't coming from inside the duct at all. The real culprit isn't a broken pipe. It's just a fundamental principle of physics playing out right in front of you. All right, so if it's not a leak, what is it? Well, to figure this out, we need to introduce the star of today's show, a little concept called the dew point. Now, I know it sounds technical, but I promise you, it's a really simple, kind of elegant answer to our whole dripping duct mystery. So what in the world is the dew point? Simply put, it's that magic temperature where the air gets so chilly it just can't hold on to all the invisible water vapor floating around in it anymore. Think of it like a sponge that's completely full of water. Once it hits that saturation point, it can't hold another drop, and it starts to drip. And that dripping process, that's what we call condensation. The easiest way to wrap your head around this is to think about a freezing cold glass of iced tea on a hot, sticky summer day. You've seen this a million times. The air all around that glass is warm and it's full of moisture, right? Well, when that warm air touches the super cold surface of the glass, it cools down, like instantly. And that newly chilled air, it can't hold its water vapor anymore. So poof, that vapor turns into the liquid water droplets you see all over the outside of your glass. It is the exact same thing happening here. Okay. So we've got the science down. Now let's connect it directly back to our dripping air conditioning duct. It's actually a pretty simple recipe. You just need two main ingredients. So think about it just like this. Ingredient number one, a cold surface. Check. That's your AC duct, which is obviously cold because of the air flowing inside it. Ingredient number two, warm, humid air. Check. That's just the air in whatever unconditioned room the duct is in. You mix those two things together, and bam, you get condensation. That duct is basically just a giant, industrial-sized glass of iced tea. And this is also why you only see this happening in very specific parts of a building. You're not going to see it in your living room, right? Because the air in there is also conditioned, so it's drier. You're going to find it in those unconditioned spaces, basements, equipment rooms, storage closets, any place where you get that critical difference between a cold surface and warm, humid air. So this is a pretty cool piece of science, for sure. But so what? Why does it actually matter? Well, understanding the dew point isn't just for trivia night. It has some really practical applications, especially when you think about taking care of your house and trying to prevent problems like moisture damage or, mold growth. And this is really the key takeaway. Knowing about dew point helps you understand what's going on in all those hidden spaces in a building. It means you can look at a dripping pipe and not see it as some random leak, but as a totally predictable scientific event. One that you can actually manage with things like better insulation or maybe a dehumidifier. So the next time you see a dripping pipe or even a fogged up window, you'll know exactly what's up. It's not magic, and it's probably not a leak, it's just physics. Which of course leaves us with one last question to think about. Now that you know the why, what's sweating in your home?